All right, just showing y'all the look from today's Makeup Live on Facebook. My beauty page is RealRitaLynn, so if you're interested in makeup and conversation, go follow, like, and share. Hey you guys, it's Rita Lynn and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the Rebel family. Also make sure that you hit the notification bell so you never miss a post or an upload from me. So if you're new to my page, welcome guys. I am Rita Lynn. I go by RealRitaLynn on social media. I create content based around lifestyle, fashion, and beauty, and then a little bit of everything in between. So if that sounds like something that you might like or something you might enjoy, or you're just here for the Real Rita Lynn experience, again, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload from me. Now, I will say that it has been some time, okay, since I have posted. But y'all, honestly, life has just been lifing, and I am really struggling right now. So we are already in the year 2024, and January has come and gone, thank God. But what I wanted to do was just go ahead and give you guys a recap of what happened in my January so that we can go ahead and move forward into February. Now, before I do that, I do want to say that my content is going to change up a little bit. And if I'm just being honest, you guys, I am 39, so I will be 40 this year in August. And what I'm realizing more than anything is that I want to make content that is more authentic to who my children see me as every day. And what I mean is that you don't always get the behind the scenes of what's going on. And for me, more so now than ever, especially with the health scare that I had this January, I want to leave content to where if my kids need any type of advice, words of encouragement, motivation, or just to know how I would handle a situation at my big age, they can come back to this channel and find the most loving, caring, genuine, authentic me that I can possibly be. So the way I am showing up right now, ponytail, no makeup, hoodie on, this is usually how I am around my house, honestly. And I don't feel a reason to try to shift, to change, and be somebody I'm not. So hopefully you guys are open to just who I am genuinely. And if not, I pray that you find your tribe. But yeah, today is the start of a reset, and I'm okay with that. So now that that disclaimer is out of the way, let me tell y'all what happened in January, okay? Because your girl was in the hospital. I was in ICU practically the whole month of January. How was I in ICU the whole month of January? I will tell you how I was in ICU the whole month of January. So let's just kind of take it back a little bit. So the reason I was in the hospital in January is because, honestly, I have been burning my candle at both ends. And surely if you're burning your candle at both ends, it's going to get to a point to where there's damn near nothing left. Now, what happened, or that things that I've noticed that kind of led me to go into the ICU in January, was I was feeling really lightheaded, feeling really dizzy, and even fatigued in some situations. And this was closer towards Christmas time. So for those of you that are new to me, I will just kind of give you an update on my health issues. I have high blood pressure, so I have hypertension. I also am severely anemic. I get iron transfusions once a month. And then I have some stuff going on with my chest. So I know that I have angina, but from my research, angina is a symptom that stems from coronary heart disease. And right now I am seeing an oncologist, a hematologist, a cardiologist, and my PCP. Not to mention that I just found out I have underactive thyroids. All in the month of January. Now, some of these things I knew prior, but the underactive thyroid, yeah, that I just found out, okay? So anyway, needless to say, one day I was sitting at home, it was a little bit after Christmas, and I was feeling really dizzy, feeling really fatigued, like I really lethargic, like I couldn't really do much. Long story short, I ended up going to the ER, and I found out that my blood pressure was 231/114, which, if y'all know, that's terrible. It's stroke level. I ended up getting admitted into the hospital. I passed out, I know, after they took my blood pressure and I got there. So I really can't tell you what happened the first 2 days. What I do know from my support system that was there is that the first 2 days, I was told that I wasn't walking, and that when I did talk, it was really gibberish. I was finding it hard to remember a lot of things, so I was having like brain fog as well. And so I ended up being in the ICU for about 7 or 8 days the first 2 weeks of January. When I got out of the hospital, immediately I got released, got sent home, and I was told that I needed to just alleviate a lot of my stress. Ended up coming home, and Mikhail and Madison both were sick. Madison had the flu, and Mikhail was just not feeling well. On top of that, y'all, Mikhail's girlfriend at the time was still living with us. So just imagine getting out of the ICU for about 8 days, then coming home and having to take care of somebody that's sick with the flu, having to take care of somebody who has just your common cold, and then somebody being in your home who just does not add value at all. Stress just kind of tripled, if you will. On top of that, I was still trying to manage keeping the house clean and keeping everybody fed when I could barely walk. Like, they almost sent me home on a walker had the physical therapist not cleared me. That's just how bad it was, just so y'all know. And what I'll do is I'll insert some clips from when I was in the hospital so that y'all can just kind of get an idea. So it took a couple days for the kids to get in a state to where they were able to be more independent, which I expected because they were sick. And then right after that, we had the winter storm. Yay! Like, what the fuck? You know? So then we had the winter storm, so that was that. I still was not able to get my iron transfusion. And just imagine having a winter storm and you're already low on iron and you can't go nowhere and can't do nothing. No, 2024, like, what gives? So I ended up going back to ICU, and at this time when I went back to ICU, my team, my support system, one person was out of town and could not get to me and was totally stressed that they could not get to me. And then my other person that was here was actually being really, really helpful and just doing what they could at the time, to make me as comfortable as possible, but also kind of keep an eye on the kids. So shout out to my support system. Y'all know who y'all are. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all so much. But so I ended up going back, and then when I came home, my team, and I say it's my team, but it's really only 2 people, y'all. Well, 3 technically. Michael is included, but the other 2, they know who they are. And I'll get into that a little bit later on as I kind of catch y'all up on what all has else transpired. But yeah, ended up coming home and ended up going maybe 3 days later, going back to the emergency room because I started to turn really, really pale. So when I went back to the emergency room, we found out that my hemoglobin was at a 8.2, and at a 7 they do a transfusion. So they had to give me somewhat of a small, I say they do a transfusion, I mean to say they do a blood transfusion at 7. So when I went to the ER, I was at 8.2, and they did a small iron transfusion at the time, just enough to kind of get me to where I could get to my next primary care visit. So yeah, that is what happened in January. On top of that, had some things happening at home with the kids, and unfortunate to say, but Mikhail has decided to leave with the girlfriend again. Now, I will just say that it is always my hope and prayer that I want my son to be home because I want him to be okay and I want to lead him and guide him. But I also know that he's 18, he'll be 19 this year, and he has to live his life on his own terms. And I have to come to terms with the fact that he's not my baby boy anymore. Like, he's a young man, he's a young adult, and for how I feel is like, I've given him the necessary tools to make good or bad choices, whatever the case may be. And now I just have to step back and I have to love him from a distance. I have to love him from afar, and I know that. And it's scary, honestly. It is really scary. So I am learning that with him, I have to kind of take my hands off of it and let him take the reins, just as the same way I had to do with Michael when Michael left to go to LA. And so that's where we are kind of with Mikhail. Michael did go back to LA because he needed to get back to school. So he's in LA and he's doing great. He's actually getting ready to come home for a little while. And then, like I said, Mikhail is just trying to navigate right now his relationship with a girlfriend, and also what it is he wants out of life, what it is he wants to do. And I am just kind of praying and being support in the background. And now Miss Madison has gotten herself into a couple of things. Like, she's growing into a beautiful young lady, you guys. I cannot make this up. But I do know with the times that we live in right now, kids are curious. She's wanting to have a lot of mature conversation. And I'm just hoping that I am knowledgeable enough and have enough resources to put information in front of her so that she can make sound decisions for herself. So that's kind of where we are as far as the kids. So that is the update for right now. I am going to come back to you guys in my next vlog and just continue to give you updates. I don't know that these vlogs are going to be like super edited and all this kind of, y'all. Right now, my whole goal is to make sure, especially since I've had this health scare this January, is to make sure that I leave content for my children so that they have something to look back on when I'm no longer here. I know that I'm not going to always be here, and I want them in times of need or depression, anxiety, encouragement, motivation, whatever the case may be. I want them to be able to look back and say, okay, this is what my mom would have done. Or maybe watch some of my videos and pull some type of encouragement or inspiration or motivation or comfort even from these videos that I create. So just look at this as like my life diary, because that's what it is for me. So things that I knew that I was holding really personal and dear to me behind the scenes, I am gonna be doing my best to let you guys in on my personal life. So here's to the reset of Real Rita Lynn. As always, you guys, I am wishing you a beat face, a snatch waist, and a lifestyle filled with grace. Until next time, you guys, choose life. I love you. Be safe.